Goals, dreams, moving forward. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. No one can tell about us better than ourselves. Watch the block of programs of TV Brics International Network on Umtala TV, South Africa.
Genet Teshome Jirru, Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia to the Russian Federation. He has graduated from Kharkiv State University with a degree in Economics and Social Planning in 1993. He got his PhD in African Studies in 2020 in Mumbai University in India. He worked for the Bureau of Trade, Industry, Tourism and Transport, Southern Nations, Nationalities and Peoples Regional State in the city of Hawassa from 1994 to 2003. Later, he held different positions in the Ethiopian Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Since September 2024, he has been heading the Ethiopian diplomatic mission in Russia.
Your Excellency, thank you for taking the time to speak to us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Tell us please about main aims and goals for Ethiopia in BRICS.
Thank you very much. Ethiopia has joined the BRICS in January 2024. This year was Ethiopia's integration into the BRICS system. Russia, as a chairship, has supported a lot Ethiopia and other newly joined countries to seamlessly join the system, to integrate with the system. And it is very important moment for Ethiopia because it's just a year for reintegration itself with BRICS system. So BRICS is very important for us based on our foreign policy orientation of diversification of our partnership. And also BRICS is very critical for us in terms of economic cooperation and to bring a just and fair global system. So these are the objectives of BRICS that line up with Ethiopia's priorities.
In your opinion, what are the prospects for Ethiopia in the area of trade routes within the BRICS cooperation?
And utilizing various methods of payment system will support Ethiopia to enhance its trade volume in the years to come. Actually, some of the members of BRICS are trading partners with Ethiopia, and our trading volume with Russia is also increasing at this moment. And this momentum will continue and more evolve with the joining of BRICS.
And what is your assessment of Ethiopia's level of cooperation with BRICS countries in the field of environmental protection and sustainable development?
Environment, protection of environment, and reduction of desertification is very critical for us. We are very much affected by the climate change, being located in the Horn of Africa, in the eastern part of Africa. We haven't contributed to the environmental degradation, but we have been seriously affected because of the climate change. The establishment of the contact group of environmental protection and sustainable development by BRICS ministers in June 2024, and the adoption of the framework for environmental climate change and sustainable development at the high-level dialogue that took place in August 24 will help Ethiopia to work with partners in the in the aversion and development of environmental protection measures. Actually, Ethiopia has played a very significant role in afforestation, especially the initiative of our Prime Minister, the Green Legacy Initiative, that aims at planting afforestation project of planting more than 32 billion seedlings would significantly contribute to a mitigation of environmental degradation of the country. And in this regard, the anticipated mechanism of scientific and research platform of Brics countries will help in advancing science and research on climate-related issues and exchange expert opinion and share experiences in terms of lowering emission and using energy efficiency mechanisms, and related environmental protection activities like sustainable financing. This would significantly help the country in terms of developing sustainable economy and green economy. So we will share experiences on this in this area with countries, Brics countries.
And tell us about the activities and events supported by Ethiopian Embassy in Russia. Which ones you consider the most significant, and what events and activities are planned in the future and in what fields?
Our relationship with the Russian Federation spans for more than 126 years. We have a flagship cooperation, especially we have an excellent collaboration in the field of political arena, be it on multilateral forum or bilateral forums. We have an excellent and a very outstanding bilateral cooperation. Also in technical cooperation, scientific and cultural cooperation, we have an excellent collaboration with Russia. So we will continue this flagship cooperation. And also will induce new cooperation now, focus on economic partnership, like investment, that we work to enhance our interaction of businesses, to explore opportunities in Ethiopia, to invest in Ethiopia in different fields. So, as I said, Ethiopia is now embarked on a very rapid economic growth, and the population of Ethiopia is now 127 million, out of which more than 65% is a very young generation, which is at the workforce age. So we can tap into the opportunities that the country offers to the Russian investors. And we have now, as I said, we are exploring the opportunities to enhance our trade volume with Russia. Our relevant ministries are working on the areas where we can collaborate in terms of, enhancing the trade volume between the two countries. So our focus would be now on economic diplomacy. Tourism is one of the areas. Ethiopia has a lot to explore, areas, very diversified tourist attractions for any kind of tourists, for leisure tourism or scientific tourism, research, archaeological tourism, ecotourism, or conference tourism. Ethiopia can offer different opportunities in terms of tourism. So we have to work in these new areas. Actually, we have been working, but we will redouble our efforts to enhance our cooperation in this dimension.
And in your opinion, how popular is the learning of Russian language in Ethiopia? And what, in your view, could facilitate access to learning Russian in Ethiopia so that language learning and consequently also immersion into culture of other country could be more widespread?
Yeah, it's a very important question. Russian language is taught in Ethiopia since a very long time. As you know, we have Russian Center for Culture and Science in Addis Ababa, which established back in 1945 as a permanent exhibition of the Soviet Union at that time. So since a long time, this Russian Center for Culture and Science is providing Russian language study opportunities for Ethiopians, basically those who come for further study in the former Soviet Union and now in the Russian Federation. But the number is not very big, and it is not as intended to be. Therefore, now the Ministry of Science and Higher Education of the Russian Federation has signed a memorandum of understanding with our Ministry of Education for our higher learning institutions, universities, to provide Russian classes for those who would like to further study or pursue their studies in the Russian Federation. So I think in the future, this opportunity and facility will not be limited to the Russian Center for Science and Culture, now called is Russian Home or Russian House. Now it will be extended to other universities. Other universities, Ethiopian universities, have already started. Some of the universities have already started teaching Russian language as a foreign language. So this will create an opportunity for Ethiopians to know more Russian language, and especially for those who would like to come for their further education and study here. That would be a great opportunity. Likewise, here in Russia, as you know, many African Center for African Studies provide Amharic language classes for Russian young generation. So I've seen some of the centers, and I've met already some students that are studying Amharic language, and the centers are doing really a great job. And we should encourage both sides, to continue in this manner, to educate our nationals, the others' language, Ethiopians to learn Russian language and Russian to learn Ethiopian Amharic language. This is very important. And in my embassy now, all the staff, by their own initiative, taking Russian classes. So they are studying the language, and I hope they will make it.
A particular segment of any national culture is cuisine. There is a growing interest in Ethiopian dishes in Russia. In turn, how Russian cuisine is popular in your country?
Yeah, now we are witnessing some Russian restaurants are appearing in Addis Ababa. It's really amazing. Now you can find it in Addis Ababa, and the owner is a Russian lady. The chef is a Russian guy, and you can enjoy Russian taste with Russian spirit, Russian soul. You can get all special dishes of cuisines of Russia, like borscht, the soup, and you can get other Russian cuisine, like Russian salad, and you can get bulachki, and like pancakes with berry jams. So with Russian tea from Samovar.
And what iconic places in Ethiopia could you recommend for travelers? Of course, Russian people would be interested to visit St. George Church in Lalibela or Monument to Pushkin, but are there any other significant historical and cultural places?
Lalibela is one of the tangible heritage registered by UNESCO. We have 9 tangible heritage and 5 intangible heritage registered by UNESCO. This makes Ethiopia on the first line among all African countries in terms of, this assets and values that Ethiopia have. If we take Lalibela is a rock-hewn church, a cluster of churches, constructed in the 12th and 13th century from a single rock. It's a very amazing structure, and everyone should visit. We can continue to Bahar Dar and Gondar and Aksum to visit St. Mary Church. All these are historic and religious places visited by many tourists. So the Russian visitors can also extend to visit these areas. We have national parks like Omo National Park. We have Bale Mountain National Park for those who love to visit wildlife and the jungle, foresteries, and to see, to take breathtaking places to visit the peak highlands. Summit Mountain is, for example, is also a national park where people can enjoy the scenery and wildlife. Some are endemic to Ethiopia. So these areas are very attractive areas for ecotourism and for those who love nature.
And how popular is Russian literature in Ethiopia? What topics attract your co-citizens?
Well, it's really amazing to tell you that between 1960, early 1960s and the end of 1980s and the beginning of 1990s, there were about 350 titles translated into Amharic language. Most of them are, ideological and revolutionary ones, like the work of Vladimir Ilyich Lenin, and like periodics, which describes the lives of the Soviets, and some, ideological materials, including perestroika. All these books were translated, but at the very beginning, in the 1960s to, say, 1975, 76, the Russian known authors like Lev Tolstoy, Antoine Chekhov, Pushkin. From science fiction, you will find Alexander Velayev, the amphibian, the Chilavik amphibia. It was, I think, even screened in Ethiopia very widely. People like my
there is
age.
a film,
People like my age at that time enjoyed this film very much. And even myself, I read this, the amphibian, Chilavik amphibian, maybe 3 or 4 times. So these are, among the fictions. I forgot some of, books, but these are very representative ones, translated into Amharic language and widely spread in Ethiopia for the audience.
And did you read them in Amharic or in Russian?
No, I read them in Amharic when I was very young and before coming to Russia. When I was in Russia, of course, I was focusing on my studies, and I was really doing my study based on the curriculum at that time. But as I said, for example, the amphibian, I have read it more than 3-4 times. A very interesting book. I have also read, not completed, but the mother of Gorky.
And what Ethiopian books, which have not yet been translated into Russian yet, might be in demand in Russia? Like what issues your writers and poets explore that could be of interest to Russians?
I think the love stories would be interesting for Russians because, it is it touches everyone's life. So it will be very interesting, especially among the youth, to read love stories, because though it is different from perspectives of the area, the place, and the language, but the message might be similar, and it will show the lifestyle and the emotions of our people, which I believe the Russians would like to know. So, for example, in Ethiopia, a book so-called Love Until Grave. This is a book with this title that might be very much liked by the Russians if it was translated in Russian language.
Thank you so much for this interesting interview.
My pleasure. Thank you for giving an opportunity to speak about our cooperation and our lifestyles, our opportunities in terms of business and tourism. Thank you very much, and I appreciate it.
Thank you.